still a bad auto deposit health, so I have to wait like 7 days to get deposits in my Robinhood before I can buy Amazon.
That's always not fun. I haven't been there in a long time since I was like first verifying my account.
Yeah. You think Amazon will still be buyable in a week? Or
I
you
think
think
so.
it'll a
I think
little
their Q4 is going to pick up a lot of the slack that brick and mortar left dangling in the market, so to speak. And
maybe
consumer sentiment is kind of flat right now, but I think a lot of e-commerce sales happened this year already, and it's already in the books. Amazon was also, I think they laid off a bunch of people too recently,
I'm
and
getting a little push here.
Yeah, I have 2 leaps on Amazon right now. One of them's going to expire fairly soon, but it's essentially going to be acquiring Amazon at $95, which was not bad. I sold it at when it was like around 105. Actually, it was above 105 when I sold it, but I sold it at the strike of 105, and so it netted me $1,000 something in premium. And then I got another one out to September of next year, the same strike of 105. So I think the first one I'm going to get assigned shares at $95 roughly cost basis,
right.
and then the next one's probably going to end up, expiring out of the money, and then I'll just keep all that premium.
Oh man, I don't think Bitcoin's going to touch $18,000 today yet. It's got some time. I see. Looking at a note on the. Yeah, I think I'm a little leery about Apple right now, but I'll show you why in a second. But Amazon, I think, does have some potential to take a nice rebound.
Coming back to the 1 minute 200 here. On SPY.
Yeah, we're right in there. There's your 200. I drew a line right across that too. You know what? Let's make it stand out so we can actually see the damn thing. There we go. So let me look at Apple real quick here. This is interesting.
I'm getting pretty peeved about the fact I can't resell this butterfly because for some reason all the bids are negative. So even though my ask is like only $2 to $4, and everyone else's asks that I'm seeing right now on the average are up in the 12s, I'm like, why can't I liquidate this thing? Like, I'm in the mid range, I'm slightly below the mid range sometimes, but it just won't sell.
Sometimes you have to take them apart. Sometimes you got to leg it out as if you're selling a credit spread, but you're actually closing it, and then you can roll the other side out.
Unfortunately, I don't have the capital to do that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I may end up just taking a whole $2 loss. When I say $2, I mean actually $2, not $200.
Right. Is it a broken wing or is it just a straight butterfly?
It's just a straight butterfly.
You should be able to take it apart without having the margin or without having the capital. So when you sell the body and you buy the wings, you can go and take it apart by buying back one of the body legs and then going and selling one of the wings. You might end up having to take it as a dollar loss on the first one and then take your second dollar loss on the second one just to liquidate it to get it taken down.
I still don't see anything. I have no trade on the MES yet.
Yeah, it's
Jeremy,
pretty.
I found a sorry.
No, you're good, man.
Go ahead, man.
I found a June 16th Amazon $5 wide, $17, max profit 483.
That might be doable. What strikes are those?
145.
Bud, you are freaking coming along great. I love this.
Yeah, hunting. I don't. They just look cool. They haven't worked for me yet, and I still don't get price action. But I'm just.
Well, that's okay. We'll get you there. But you're finding things though. That's the cool thing. You're going out and saying, "Well, this looks good. This looks good." I like that. That's awesome.
Risk reward is pretty enticing there. Obviously, if you're only risking $17 and you can make hundreds, like that's totally awesome. And it's actually within the range when you look at the chart. Like,
yep.
You said that was how far out to June?
June 16th.
And we're only looking at like what that range has happened within 3 months of this last bunch of moves. So it's very feasible.
Right.
The problem is we have so much bearish sentiment still right now, but hopefully, come end of Q1, maybe that will be not an issue.
We'll see.
I think after FOMC next week would be even better for that risk to reward ratio out to June. Mind you, the market can flip really stinking fast here with what I'm looking at. So we're at a point where it's like neutral until this news drops, and I'm kind of concerned with Apple too. And I'm going to break this down a little bit. Where's my train of thought on Apple? 2-hour chart.
I'm gonna once the
30-minute chart. There we go.
Additional $50 hits my account. I think I'm gonna do a strangle on Apple and Amazon after the meeting or close to the meeting.
Right. And you can probably do that, but just remember, just before the meeting, even those leaps will be a little bit overpriced. They'll have a little bit higher implied volatility, so you might be able to leg into it today or maybe Monday, just before the meeting.
I wish. I
And
just don't
if-
have cash, everything else because nothing's profited yet.
Right.
Because the market's just sitting there, so my SPY
Yeah, it's
calls and SPY puts aren't doing anything.
It's just kind of grinding out, yeah. And that's why I went with the 15th and 16th expiration for the spreads. But it's like, yeah, they're still sitting there, just kind of doing.
Yeah, I have
Jack.
the exact same ones. My SPY spreads are for the 16th, but they're just they're going up and down $1. They're doing nothing else.
Right. And they will grind until we get that range movement. So
Sit on my hands kind of day, it looks like.
that, or like I said, use the flatness to let the implied volatility fall off and make everything a little
Right.
bit less expensive. Okay, so Apple, we had this rounding bottom reversal here after a choppy downward trend, and then it just sort of fell down. Came down to this critical support area, about $140. But it popped up like it was going to trend. We got a little cup and handle out of it here, and then quit. We came back down and tested the support range of 50% of the move from bottom to top. And we're sitting in an area where this can either break over as a bear flag confirmation or it can actually pull off a trend. So it's not established for either direction just yet. And then looking at the headlines of, Apple's planning on moving production out of China, that's not going to be cheap. It's not cheap to pick up and move a factory. That equity comes from somewhere, and that comes from investors' pockets. So, in my opinion, if I could open up a condor on Apple, I would probably be a little bit more that way. And then the same thing we would do when we trade a strangle. You just when it does start to pick up steam, you sacrifice the loser and ride the winner. And if you're riding a leap strangle on that or a leap condor on that, you're going to be ahead of the game. The object is to be able to find one that's affordable and worth the risk to reward ratio. So let's look a little further out on Apple. It's pretty flat in this area. It's been here before. It keeps hovering around that 130 to 140 area, but we're in a time where it'll either start to pick up and do what it did back here and trend on up, or it can break over. And SPY is very much the same way. It's kind of in a lull. It's just sitting here waiting for a shoe to drop. And if you can see my dope through the the price action through the dope anyway. Let's just turn it off. Here's your relief rally, and we've made essentially the last few legs of a diamond top here on a daily chart. Probably going to be Monday and Tuesday, and it probably will come to a point right at that $400 pivot. And then the news break is going to send it one way or the other. But still treat it as if it's just a relief rally and very likely to make a violent move either down or up on the break. Also know that you've got your angular resistance from this entire descending channel here. Let's see it on the weekly chart a little easier. And it's all down in here. It's basically been an expanding range or descending megaphone. Those tend to break bullish, but not always. And since we're sitting in an area where we're waiting for FOMC, it's likely to just be absolutely sideways until probably Tuesday afternoon. And if it breaks bullish, it's got a shot at making a 50% retracement up to like 425. If it breaks bearish, this becomes your measured move leg, and that goes down to like 320. So kind of on the fence with SPY. Definitely going to be on that same fence with Apple. Apple is 7% of SPY after all. So in my opinion, it's either risk off or discover a strategy that can be neutral and take advantage of the move. That's what I would say. So like these call debit spreads way out in June can be very tempting right now, but it's like you've got to really assess whether you fully believe that it's gonna be a trend up there until then or not. And like I said, you're gonna win with a neutral position more likely than a directional position in that time frame.
The sensei has spoken.
I said something.
I'm gonna say wise old sage, but
I
you're
get-
not old.
I get in the weeds sometimes, but that's the gist of the market. It's like we're neither
You're
nor,
right.
you know.
Obviously, the max profit's going to be different, but so a good play for like a little while, maybe a month out, would be like I was doing with the spies. Those far out call and put debit strangles, basically.
Right. And it's
Well, would you call them strangles, or would it be a condor if you did them that
you
way?
call them condors when you do
Yeah,
that.
they're
That's a
condors.
different name.
Just different.
I thought condor you wanted to stay in between. Or
Right.
that's if you sell a condor.
Right. Depends on if you sell it to open or buy it to open. So the terminology changes a little bit. You go long condor or short condor. So you can call it that. And I trade those a little funny too, because sometimes I'll walk the short legs off and then turn a condor into a strangle. Very rarely does this happen, but you can sometimes go and buy the short legs back for much, much less than you sold them for, and then turn it into a free strangle. So that's kind of another thing that I'm kind of breaking into with our strategy video series that we're putting together. I'm going to slowly go through all the different ways you can adjust an existing options position, and there is so much opportunity for literally taking a position that cost you initially to open it and turning it into a free position, or even turning it into a can't lose position where you lock in profit. And it really is possible. And the more complex you get into these strategies, the more they make sense to you. So like I was going to break into, when we went from strangle trading, I was going to break into, and I did break into it for a little while because I was in both groups, teaching how to adjust a strangle and turn it into a condor and then back out of a condor. And essentially, it's a synthetic wheel trade. You're using your long position to leverage short position. So you're selling options against other options. So you're long a strangle and you're short a short strangle, and you're walking, you're day trading or swing trading the short legs in and out on the price action. And that can be done in many ways as well. You can take a long strangle and turn it into a condor, or you can also turn it into a calendar spread. You can buy the back week, so to speak, 2 weeks out, and then sell the first week. And it's just, there's so many different ways you can adjust things, and I'm literally going to put these strategy videos together and then turn it into a flow chart, so you can literally decide what you want to do, what path you want to take. Not only that, there'll be some insight in there, like, do you expect the market to go up? Then this is just like a flow chart. So
You need to do that because ain't nobody else doing that kind of stuff.
no one's got a flow chart like that.
No, that sounds freaking awesome.
And it's just like, being in the automotive industry for so long, I've gotten really astute with reading schematics and doing diagnostic stuff, and it's all done based on a flow chart. If this, then that. It's a program. So
That CLRO, I had a 148 as its high for the last year. Just it hit a 195 a little while ago. I think it must have halted.
CLRO.
Yep, it did. CLRO, it was halted at 1016.
Ah, nice.
But I don't trust halts. If you're a penny stock person,
Yeah, it's out now.
You gotta know how to play those halts. Yeah, but you gotta know how to play. There's a way to play them. COMS moving a little bit.
Is it? We
It
love
was not
scalping
much.
pennies.
It went down and went back up. Just a couple of things I saw. I didn't mean to interrupt that because you got to do all that hard work. I know, and we
that's
need
a
it.
that's a three
This
fighter.
community needs it, man.
We need stuff to be able to fall back on. I talk about all this stuff all the time in our streams, and it's like we need to put some stuff in order now. We need to put it in writing. We need to put it in instructional videos, and then we need to put it into a structure.
I'm not going
So,
to leave you alone in a couple of days, so just get ready.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
once I get settled here, that's it.
that's it. And we've got a lot of videos we can collaborate on too, man. There's some stuff.
Heck yes. Heck yes. Especially the price action stuff.
Oh man. So
Because we want to get, Bud, we want everybody to learn price action. You know, I mean,
Yes.
if that's your thing, don't get me wrong. If that's your thing. Now, Sig doesn't teach necessarily price action, but he has some good price action knowledge.
Yes.
He really does. Sig is, I've always said it, he's like the orchestra conductor, you know. But you know, you can still play rock and roll and make a living.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what price action is. So for those who want to learn price action, I'm not trying to hype it up. I mean, I'm excited about it, but we're getting ready to do a bunch of that.
Yeah.
We're just getting settled, you know.
That's it.
In the next few months, and this is a long process. So, you know, I would say to everybody, don't be in a rush. I was, and I made a lot of mistakes, and then I stepped back and said, I'm not in the rush anymore. And now I'm, you know, getting a lot of stuff done that I want to get done. So take your time and study, write things down, read your charts when you have the time,
Exactly.
and just study. And then we'll try to get you to take one thing at a time, or find the ABC. We're going to find the ABC 1, 2, 3, because when you go looking for that stuff, there is nobody doing that stuff, ABC 1, 2, 3, that unless they're going to charge you $3,000.
Yep.
And that's
And they
exactly
will.
what they're going to, and they will. They'll charge you $3,000. And what I love about Lucian, Lucian's a great man. He really is. He's a good man. When he talks about authenticity and heart, he means it. Is that he wants to offer this for free to everybody. He's trying to go out there and offer stuff, you know, get stuff done so we can get sponsors to do it for free. And, you know, we want everybody to succeed. Just take your time in doing that.
Exactly. And a lot of these.
Sorry, I went off on that.
Oh, you're good because you made a good point. I see a lot of this out there. Through the pandemic, like everybody and their mother had a trading community, and they
Yep.
were all a pay-for-play type service where, you know, some of them were like, you know, $3,000-$4,000 a month.
Yeah.
And it's like copycat trading and stuff like this. And I'm not going to slam any name directly, but I know I saw a lot of them. And they all essentially went away when the pandemic kind of swung back into everybody went to work. Nobody had time for communities anymore. And we stayed true to our roots. We didn't up our price. We didn't go out and, you know, claim a bunch of stuff and you know, start taking videos, walking in front of a rented Ferrari or whatever. We stuck to our guns.
$300 in one day using $1.
We make our living trading. We don't make our living selling a service. The only reason we charge a fee at all is to keep it to where it pays for itself. It keeps the lights on. You know, that's what we're about. We love teaching so much that's what we love to stick with, is just making it as affordable as possible. So when you get value or you talk about value in a trading community, that's where the value is. We make a living trading. We don't F around. So what it comes down to is we're going to teach you how to trade profitably, and we're not going to, you know, tell you, hey, trade this or hey, trade that, or, you know, buy here, sell there. We don't do that. You know, we're going to follow the rules of the SEC and not tell you when to trade. We're going to show you how to find your own signals.
Exactly.
And then we can go in and tell you all the little details, all the different ways you can trade and all the different strategies you can do. And you can really take this into any level you want. You can become a full-time trader, or you can keep your day job and be able to be in a swing trade sense and be able to automate it, just have it autopilot itself. And there's many, many different strategies to apply in any different way of life that you may come from, because we know everybody comes from different walks of life. So having all those tools in the bag, or having the tool set that works for you to apply to your job is going to be key, and that's what we focus on. We teach you how.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you guys, so thank
We
you.
appreciate y'all. We really love this. We want folks to succeed. And if you got a full-time job, keep it, because you're not going to put a lot of pressure on yourself to try to trade for a living. And
Exactly.
that's a lot of people have done that. And they can't think clearly when they're doing it because they've put so much pressure on themselves to
Right.
say, oh, look at this, I can do this for a living. And you have to be careful of that. You can. And like Jeremy and Sig, and I'm a little different because I came up in the pandemic. I'm a pandemic baby. And so, both these guys did this stuff as they were working a real job. And trading on the side and studying on the side, just like you would as if you were in any job that you worked and you were taking a night class to get better at something else so you could get a better job.
Right.
If you approach this the same way, like that Phoenix school, if you will,
Yeah.
you can do it. You can do it. And it's just going to take a little longer. But, instant gratification is it's here and then it's gone. But then the delayed gratification is so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having
It's like it
steps.
starts as a side hustle and then it becomes your main hustle if you're any good at it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When I started playing music, man, I had to work other jobs. When I started playing music, I used to work just about anything I could that I could, that wouldn't interfere with my music. And obviously a convenience store wasn't that way. So I did all these odd side jobs for a few years, a number of years. Until I got to the point that, people were like, dude, you don't, come play this gig, come play this gig. And it got to the point that I was making more money in 3 days playing music than I could all week working a regular job. And that's when I made the switch.
Right.
So, it's not like that with everything, but trading seems to be. Okay, we got another approach to the 200 here.
Not to mention how scalable it is, right? Because
Yeah.
unlike your normal job, you can only allocate so many more hours a week. But once you have enough capital and you're consistently winning your trades, it's much easier to scale up your position size than it is to say work more hours in order to make more money.
Exactly. And if you take your time and, like I'm having to rebuild accounts because of all different things in life, but I'm loving it. So like I took a little scalp today. I said it was 70 cents and I did it on a few shares and I'm like, well, that's more money than that account had yesterday. It's smaller, but it grew today. And it was my penny stock account. And so I was like, oh, all right, cool. And then in the futures, I got in a little bit on that jump down just for fun. And grabbed a few dollars on that one, and that counts bigger today. So I don't know what it's going to do now because it's kind of crazy, but it's what about Bob? Steps.
That's it.
And the patience thing, that's the thing that got me, because I want to just slam in there and start making money. But it was Jeremy wrote that article on relaxed trading. And then I read a few other things about patience. And then somebody in the room one day put up trading was 80% patience, 10% risk management, 10% technical analysis. I was like, boy, they're right.
Break it down into a scale like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Although the technical analysis part, there's another percentage in there. That
Yeah.
10% of that technical analysis part, that's going to take up 80% of your time.
Yes, it is.
Learning
Yes, it is.
software and stuff.
Well, I still got to go and mess with TradeStation so I can figure out the futures trading part of it on the desktop because I need to use it as a display piece. So I want to
Sig
make
said
sure
that the other day.
I know it well enough before I go and start using it for display, so I can really
Not
know
just
what I'm
that,
doing
but
with
you
it.
want to make sure that you're able to understand how their order system works because
Right.
like the stop loss stuff, like it isn't as simple as like on Webull where it's just like you set your limits and all and whatnot. They don't call it any of that, so it's all really weird. And then they had something
Yeah.
called this matrix trade, which is really weird too. I don't know. I think that the platform is okay. I would say that the mobile one has a lot of room for improvement, but the desktop one doesn't look too bad. It's got a lot of clunky looking features.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can pop open like a bunch of different windows and workspaces is kind of neat. I like that a little bit.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Plus, you can pop them out and put them on different monitors. I love that. And then the other side of it is, yeah, they're going to name everything differently, and you just have to understand how it works. So you got to go and read the description very clearly 2 or 3 times before you understand what you're looking at, and fully be aware of what you're looking at. The other thing is, like, you go from one platform to the other, and it's like the simplicity was what attracted me to Tradovate. It was just absolutely simple, bare bones, perfect functioning little app. It worked great. I would still be using it if I didn't have the issues that I have. In fact, I might even go back and say, like, if I can't in a timely way fully understand TradeStation to trade futures with for a demonstration piece, I might just go and open a Tradovate account in my wife's name and use that for display. That might be the easy thing to do.
Don't say that on YouTube.
Could be, but at a sense, it's her account. She'll control it 100%.
Look at this wick.
But long story short, what it comes down to is I need to spend some time with it, and I haven't been able to make a lot of time for myself to even do that this week. So it's a long time coming. Fortunately for me, though, while I've been doing this, Lucian's been putting out tons of instructional videos on the TradeStation platform.
Awesome.
And into our YouTube channel. I can just go and throw up the playlist and let Lucian tell me how to use it. So that'd be even better.
He and Casper have been working their butts off.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah, they're slamming.
I mean, they have been working their butts off, people. We're getting a lot of stuff in our website fixed and cleaned up, and it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, they are killing it on the back end. Some of the stuff that's coming down the pipe, guys, you're going to be blown away. All right. Yes.
I'm digging what's going to happen. That wick.
Yeah.
That wick on that 5-minute wick. Oh my gosh. You see how it's all they're just hovering around like I got that moving average. By the way, I did figure out the actual moving average he uses, and it's a 20 EMA, not an SMA that I thought. And so I now use the 20 EMA on my 5-minute chart with one indicator.
It's a little different. The CLRO, this is the last chance for a breakout. This little 5-minute candle here. Let's flip that to a 1-minute candle. Sometimes I'll put these penny stocks aside and I'll watch them on a 5-minute just to know where the levels are, because I can see the control bars better on a 5-minute chart.
Can you go back and find some other levels on that? The one thing I don't like about TOS that Webull blows me away on is the ability to do what you're doing right there on a daily chart, just scrunch it up and find out what it did 2-3 years ago.
Yep.
On TOS, you have to set it for I have 1 year, 1 day, and then I have a 3-year 1 day, and you got to, do that. And then if you want like I have 180-day 2-hour, 360 2-hour, but on Webull, man, you can just scrunch it up.
Yep.
That's why I'm going to be
I
still a bit more.
am blown away with Webull. And if Webull said they were going to start doing a beta test for futures trading, I would jump right into it wholeheartedly. Absolutely would.
We're approaching that 200
Webull
again, just so you know. I do too. I like Webull a lot.
I drew that wedge there, and then it popped up. This was the third knock, came to the regression line, and now we have a chance of breaking out of this wedge. So keep an eye on SPY in case I'm not.
Jeremy.
Oh, you're okay.
I gotta laugh. Everybody is always like, this software and this software, freaking free Webull, and you're like killing it.
Yeah. I love Webull so much. It is
Bollinger Bands, two moving averages, and a freaking fast stochastic. It's great. Who needs fancy indicators?
Nope. Don't need it.
I like Webull so much too because at the end of the day, like it presents the information you want to see in a very clear and clean, concise way. It's not complex to use. Like Robinhood is supposed to be easy to use. The only thing that I found that I like about Robinhood, I hate their charts.
Oh, their charts are garbage.
Yeah. The only thing I like is the fact that you can make these weird complex spreads more easily because you can do like 20, dollars apart before you start your $5 spreads. Like that's my only complaint about like Webull and other platforms that keep it essentially symmetric with all the spreads and everything. That's really annoying. But beyond that, like as far as charting, I haven't seen anything any better. The one thing I will say that Think or Swim beats living pants out of Webull about is literally just that you can save your studies and everything. I think that's
Right.
great. If Webull included
Yeah.
that, I would literally 100% be using Webull nonstop.
One more thing Webull could do that would be really great is if they track your trades. Like
Yes.
you can on TOS, you can show your trades, and then when you go back to review and the reflect and the study your charts and journal at the end of the day, you can see where exactly your trades were. Now Tradeovate does that for you too, which I like.
Yes.
But that's if Webull did that, oh my God, that would be just like they'd be killing
Game
it.
changer. Absolutely.
Yeah, because for what's so important for any trader, new or old, is to be able to journal your trades
Right.
and to be able to see where you entered and where you exit. And like on TOS, like in penny stocks, I could see after I did it, I'd go, oh man, what was I thinking?
Yep.
Why did I get in there?
I'm looking at a couple of.
Oh, we're coming back up to that 200 again. Look out.
I was able to put some levels up on CLRO there, and I can see it break into 210 and 230 if it gets above this current resistance level here. Wedges breaking. We're still looking for a target under this white line I drew here, and that's just essentially the median between this peak and this peak. It's right in the middle. It comes right across the second peak. That is your resistance point. If it's just going to retrace real quick and give us a fake breakout or fake wedge breakout anyway, that's where it'll break over. But if it breaks out through that, then we expect a measured move coming back up to probably close to the Globex high. We'd probably start looking at control zones right around the 397.75 area to 398.50, somewhere in that range. So watch this critically, as if it's going to tell you everything you need to know about this morning.
Yep. That 5-minute candle gapped up on the MES one tick.
Nice. Morning.
So,
We got the Blind Trader out there on our YouTube channel.
hey, blind trader.
And we have some history with different moderators here at Bullish Bears, and some will use a white background chart, some will use a black background chart. I use a black background chart.
Me too.
My eyes are very sensitive to bright light, and Lucian's are too, actually. But for some,
Y'all are gremlins?
maybe.
I just asked.
Like when I go snowboarding, I practically have to wear like welding helmet, dark glasses to go snowboarding because there's so much blinding light coming off the white snow on a spring day. It's just it literally blinds me. I can't see anything without sunglasses in snow conditions. It's funny because I actually will wear polarized fishing sunglasses during a blizzard because I can see through the blizzard better when I can block some of that light
Wow.
in contrast. But I don't have to worry about that so much anymore since I moved to Virginia. But you know, I know I have the knowledge of what works for me. So anyway, when it comes to people who might have vision issues, the consensus is that a black background allows you to see contrast better. So, you know, if you're looking for something that's bright standing out against a dark background, it's easier to pick it out than it would be trying to find something that's bright against a bright background. So it just makes it a little bit more dynamic for anybody to be able to see. So that's the other reason why I like to use a black chart for display. I know some people have in the past have asked me why I don't use a white chart. Now you know why. All right, there's CLRO breaking out. Get above 190 and it's game on to about 210.
You found those levels?
I did.
How far back did you have to go?
Oh gosh, I had to pull the daily chart out and zoom all the way out, and we're looking
Oh,
at.
you see, yeah. Look at that. What year is that?
It's, last year,
2021.
October.
2021. Why didn't you give me that?
October last year. I just found the point of control on this little measured move.
Oh, because it was October. And
Oh.
I'm going back. I could only go back to this.
Right.
No, I should have got
1 year, 1
October.
day would be.
I should
Yeah,
have got that though.
you should have, but. Oh, damn, they sold the crap out of that. This is one of those speed bumps on that. So watch this. This is a stop hunt. If it bounces here, cool. If it doesn't,
Get the heck out if you're in it.
but 190, it had to break 190 to go, and it stopped at 190.
Hey, Jeremy, for comms, how far are you looking for it to retrace back before you'd start rebuilding a position in it?
I'd like to
I've
see
been
it.
looking at maybe 7 cents or so, somewhere in that range, but we not too long ago saw it down in the 6 and the 5s.
Yeah. 52-week low is still at 4.2 cents there. It can easily come back down to like 8 cents even today. And I'm looking at consolidation. If it does break that level around 5.5 cents. So I would say as long as it holds 9 cents, we can be bullish out of this little descending wedge here and shoot for a retrace to like 11. But that's going to be the short term. Overall, if I'm looking at the probability of it coming back to this range, it's got to break 9 cents first. And we can go to like 7.4, looks like, for another swing if it does start to hit those levels. But I look at the descending channel first, and that's short term is going to tell me, okay, it's got a good shot at making an 11 or 12 cent move out of this if it breaks bullish as a retracement.
Right back. Be right back. This candle's closing. 5 minutes.
Got that tweezer there. Got a wedge within the wedge. All right. This is where you're watching price on CLRO here. Good example. When you get these little speed bumps, these stop hunts, and that's exactly what they did. They took out everybody's stops, bought it. Watch the order flow. I'm going to try and pull it up now. I don't have it available on this bare bones display that I'm using for display purposes here, but if I go and look at the order flow, I'm going to find some clues here. And I'm looking at a couple things that are looking like setting up for a dead cat bounce as well. I'll get those up in a minute here too. Okay, CLRO order flow. Let's see, everything was on the outflow side. Retail's chasing it a moment ago, but that's delayed. Now we're getting into some larger orders starting to swing around. Large orders were mostly selling into this until a few moments ago. Now they're starting to pick it up. So we're going to start seeing some of those bigger orders come through. Yep, there we go, 4,000, 2,500. This is where they'll pick it up right here. And I don't use Bookmap. You know what? I turned it off earlier. Let me turn that back on. I do use Volume Profile. And you can see there's all the liquidity right here. And all we need to do is know after this point, when price holds a solid candle on top of that 8 period, we can be convinced that it might break out again. And we can set our entry, and we can also set our trailing stop just under that 8 period. But not until you have a solid candle above it. Yeah, snow is definitely the worst for me too. I'm not blind, but I'm technically blind in one eye. I'm legally blind in one eye, so I've only got one good eye. Vision in my good eye is like 2015 still, without glasses, and that's my dominant eye. My other eye is essentially only useful as an extension of my peripheral vision for my good eye. It cannot focus enough to read even big blocky letters. It just doesn't focus in the center. It's all peripheral. And it's not that there's something wrong with the eye itself. It's that I was actually born cross-eyed, so my brain only put development to using the good eye and forgot about the bad eye. So it's purely just how the neurons connected and developed into useful vision. And for a time when I was a kid, I used to have to wear glasses and a patch over my good eye to try and force my brain to utilize that less dominant eye after having corrective surgery to straighten the eye. But it wasn't going to work. All right. Still no candles above that 8 period on CLRO. We're still kind of trending here. Some of those bigger orders accumulated, but then they kind of fell off. But what we want to see is an uptick in buying pressure, and we want to see a big green volume candle pop out from down here, and we want to see a nice full candle above the 8 period. SPY kind of touching that regression line again, and this will be a point where we can expect either a quick bearish measured move down to the key pivot, the 395 pivot, out of that wedge, or we hover here and grind sideways until about noon. Speaking of COMS, that was a stop hunt. As low volume as that sucker is, that's a wedge. There's your breakover. All the stops got chased out. Bigger buys bought it. There's the candle above the 8 period. This is where you follow with your stop just under the 8 period. And here comes your breakout. If it breaks out, it'll go and shoot probably right up to about 9.7 cents. As a great example for what you would be looking at in CLRO for a convincing move. These little penny stocks are just, I mean, they're garbage to hold, but man, they're great for learning price action.
Have a good day, guys.
You too, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Or Monday, sorry. Forget it's the weekend. It's Friday. Where'd that come from? Have a wonderful weekend too, man. And again, thank you for your service. We appreciate your dedication to upholding our laws of the land.
Thanks.
And you get to go and, very similar to a police officer, you probably deal with a lot of people on their worst day. So I commend you for that. All right, there's your convincing candle.
There you go. And that's how long it takes to make a cup of coffee in that stupid coffee machine.
Oh, man.
I got to get me a new one right now. Order it online.
You need a dripper. Go old school.
I need old school. I don't need this stupid one cup at a time.
Yeah, that's driving me nuts.
I don't know what. I guess some people like that, but coffee drinkers don't. Wouldn't think.
I don't. The other thing is, like, I like fresh water in my coffee every day. When it's water that's sat in a tank overnight.
Oh no, you got to put water. I have to refill it. Well, of course, I'm drinking the whole dang thing, so I have to refill it.
If it's like, unless you clean that tank every single day, there's stuff that'll grow in there. I mean, it's not harmful. It's just it makes the taste of the coffee awful, in my opinion. When you have bad water, you have bad coffee.
Yep. Well, this is either a bear pennant,
dude,
or you got another little wedge going on here.
Look how smooth this breakout is on comms, man. That's exactly the example I was trying to point out down here on CLRO.
Yeah.
That was your convinced. See, look, same freaking chart. So you got the stop hunt right here. That happened here. There's the big buyers coming back in. Candle above the 8 period. That's your consolidation. Your stop is just under the 8 period at that entry. So your stop would have been like 9.28 cents or whatever if you wanted to go that tight with a decimal. And you just sit on it. If it gets washed out a second time, you know this flag's going to fail. You just stay out. But when it just held and broke out, bam, clean breakout.
That's awesome.
This one, dirty.
Dirty.
Not there yet.
Well, and you get the similar looks in penny stocks, and then some of them will do things and some of them won't. Just that's what depends upon what the market manipulators are doing. Excuse me, the market makers.
But it's like you can take and put, like we say, you can put every indicator in a book on your charts, and none of them mean jack without price action. And this is pure price action. And like literally, when you get good at this, you don't need any of this crap. You can go with just the candles on the chart and see these. In fact, if I was to trade with like one indicator or one moving average like Al Brooks does, it would be the 8 period instead of the 21 period.
Yeah, 'cause the 8 period is great.
All I need
Get in
is
on
a
the 8.
price action pattern and an 8 period, and I'm good to go. Like I could turn off all the other crap completely and know exactly what that says.
Well, I have a chart and I use one moving average, but I use that's where I have the combination of pivots and the price action. So I look what the moving average is, and if it just hugs it like it's been doing most of the day now, I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna wait because I need to have some kind of movement.
Right.
But it works really. It's been working for me now. I've been doing this for what, a few months since the summer,
Yeah.
and it's getting better for me. So and it's a 5 minute chart. So I watch the SPY and the MES on the 5 minute, and then of course I do the daily in the 2 hour, and throughout the intraday I'll check the 2 hour, the 15, and the 30. To see, what's happening, if we're getting if we're going to be, rounding and coming back down, if it's moving up and so on. It's the same thing. It's going up or down, but it's really been working really good for me, and I'm digging it. And so but you combine that with the price action, and you got, okay, here's a wedge, and wow, well it's coming into this pivot right there. So you start paying attention, a little bit closer, and then I can start saying, okay, well, if it does this, then I'll get in here.
Right.
And then it should push to this next pivot. That's what I like about the pivots. It's like, oh yeah, look at that. We got a magnet drawing price.
Pretty much.
But if everything lines up, we are in a wedge, and the 200 is the 1 minute 200 is the freaking trend line.
I guess we could. You know what? Let me redact what I
watching
just
it?
said about having just the 8 period. That the 200 is also important. It's like having a moving pivot. So I was looking at the COMS while you were talking there, and I was like, "Yep, there's your entry. Your trailer's just under the 8 period, and effectively a trailing stop would have been taken out by this wick here. So this is something I probably would have traded manually rather than with a trailing stop. But that's what these wicks are. They're picking off all the trailing stops, and they're still boosting this. They're going to shoot it to just under 10 cents, and that's where they'll take profit on this, I think. But 0.6 of a cent on a 10-cent stock, that is pretty impressive, percentage-wise.
Push. What time is it?
And to be able to trade stuff like that by putting your limit orders in with a damn decimal, tenths of a penny, hundredths of a penny, dude, it's kind of cool.
We have no more econ for the rest of the day other than the Baker Hughes rig count.
Yeah, just flatness.
You know what SIG says? I worked on those rigs for 20 years.
Yeah.
I love it. Doesn't he sound like he would sing in a rock band?
Kind of, yeah.
He's got the look for it. I already told you. Takes those pictures like he's got a freaking manager telling him what to do.
Right?
Don't smile.
He's got the natural rocker look.
Mm-hmm.
Still hanging out on CLRO. Nothing really happening there. Like I said, don't trust it until you see a candle on that 8 period. That's it.
We red hammered on the 200. Then we shot up above it, and then we got that little Tootsie Roll. And it looks like we're pushing up again here. So let's see how far it's going to go.
All right.
Now we got two bull bars forming, but they still got 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes and some seconds to go in this 5 minute bar.
Man, look how clean and predictable that COMS breakout is, man. That is awesome. I love those. 9.98. This is where things will get critical, just under the 10-cent mark. Oh, they stabbed it. If that closes a wick, that's where you take your profit. But if it closes bars, dude, ride the bars, baby.
Ride the bars.
Go crawl it. Bar to bar to bar.
All right, here we are. We're back at the top. We're back to 39.70 on the MES. That area. Now, Sig pointed out a few weeks ago that that was a critical spot,
Yeah.
and that's still also the weekly VWAP of September 12th. So it just popped up above it, wicked above it.
Here we go. We're setting up. There's a trend line I have drawn out here. This guy right here, yellow one. Know where that comes from? The diamond.
A diamond. I was going to say the diamond. We haven't talked much about wolf waves lately. We get a lot about diamonds, though.
Yeah, this is.
My goodness. That 1 minute chart. That's beautiful, y'all, on SPY. That is just frickin' a beautiful bull flag from the old penny stocks day. You got to love those beautiful bull flags.
For the moment, think of it like
And
a
that is
measured move.
Yeah, that is also, you got 30 seconds left on this 5 minute candle, but so far that's a pretty strong look.
I'm going to adjust this to incorporate the wick there. So
39.75,
this wedge,
you know that thing. So we went from 50 to 75. So you got
this wedge
quarters
stops right
around.
about here. So look at this distance. Regression to angular. All right.
Mhm.
Take your imaginary dividers out there and put them right to price. We're right there now. If we break this, cool, we can continue running. But this is where your target was on a measured move. Bam. 397.20, done. Now what? So let's look a little bit further back here. There's a control zone on a 2-hour chart that can take us to right up to 399.50 area. There's an angular resistance there from way back, and that thing is all the way back from, good Lord, that thing's so far back. That was our rising channel there, right? So let's go back to the 2-hour. We know where that is. We know where the diamond is. We know where the diamond's range is. Everything sits on this diamond right here.
Not so much. I missed all those trades. Oh, well.
This is where the target was, at 397.20 to 25 area. That's the measure move target for the bulls breaking that flag. That's done. Let's see what happens here. It can pull back and continue to trend, or it can stay in range.
Broke a pivot, so you expect it to come back in some way, maybe retest it.
Right. And the 397 is where the actual pivot is. So let's
Well,
try.
that is a big bull bar. Nice, big, clean bull bar on the 5 minute. Not quite a bald-headed wick, but that is a very nice candle.
Right.
Expect it to come back to the 39.71.50 area and test it. Doesn't have to, but it can.
CLRO, fail. That's going to go back to flag 2 support, probably around $1.35 to $1.39.38, somewhere in there. It might give us towards the end of the day setup. I'll kind of keep an eye on it, but that is the flag you don't buy. It failed.
That is a flag you don't buy. That's a failed flag.
This is the flag you do buy.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to know. Like, I can put all these studies on my chart that I want, and primarily my focus on having all those studies is just for teaching purposes, because I like to be able to show everybody in every different group what we can look at for price action. But it always comes back to price action. The candles are the king, and when you're trading and you're trying to teach at the same time, it's like I don't have to use all that for the most part until my drawings get so out of hand and I can't see the damn candles anymore. I can see them and I can trade them, but I'm focused more on the candles than anything, and everything else is just kind of a fallback to just show, you know, what we're bouncing off of and what's actually in motion here as far as like moving averages and all that stuff goes. Bollinger Bands just kind of tell you what the range is on whether the move is going to be accepted or not. You know, they're a volatility indicator, and when you put them back on the chart after you've traded price action for a while, they'll make sense and they'll make sense as more of a teaching tool to show what is possible in that move more than anything. So since we have this continuing to walk up, we're likely to trend here on the Bollinger Bands. Speaking of the devil, we got widening bands after a pinch. The pinch was right into the tip of that pennant. Bam, we're breaking out. So the other thing is, with all the drawings, you're looking for all your pivot levels, you're looking for all your angulars, and just kind of plotting along. And then here comes Trend Spider, where it does it all automatically for you.
Isn't that crazy?
I love me some Trend
They're
Spider.
a little expensive. I thought they were a little expensive. Just my own personal opinion. Am I getting in
a
trouble
little
for
bit, but
saying that?
they got the 60% discount for our members now, and it's an affiliate offer is what they have.
Sure.
It's pretty decent price, but I use it to kind of back test all of my drawing. But for the most part, I hadn't had time to look into all the other stuff that it has, and dude, it's incredible how much stuff you can do with it. Heck, you can input scripts. I might have to copy something. All right.
Yeah, I think you can do that. The script thing.
You can turn your alerts off and on. You can have it look at candle patterns and chart patterns, which is kind of neat too.
Yeah, I did like that. I did like that a lot.
And they're adding stuff. I'm going to put a request in for the diamond, even though it drew one the other day and it's not on there, but it drew it. That was pretty nice on that presentation.
That was really funny.
Let's see here.
All right, let's see what we get
I'll get
here.
into that later. But yeah, I'm gonna request a diamond pattern drawing.
See how far that candle comes back.
Very useful.
Slammed right into an area. We wicked into an area there. 39, 76, 65. It's either 75 or 50.
But
That I don't love.
yeah,
Oh, where's my price line?
I'm gonna pull up the options heat map here. I didn't get to play with that yet.
Oh no, give me.
I just got in on BXRX, so I'm going to see what it does now.
Very cool.
BXRX.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, have I been, again, just looking at something and seeing what's not there? I'm trying to trade a breakout, not a setup.
Right. Comms looks like it's trying to come out of a little pennant right there.
I didn't mean to draw that. That's okay. I'll get it later.
Why did that happen?
Anyway, SPY as expected came right up to that angular resistance. Boop. Break over. Testing that 397 pivot again. I love it.
Again.
Okay, yeah, COMS just putting out another pennant, but that could actually come back and test the point of control of 95 cents even. Or 9.5 cents even, sorry. And CLRO, I'm expecting that to come down and test its support level. I think $1.46 is first. All right.
Can you set your time on Tradeovate? Do you know?
You can set it. Yeah, you can change it to between exchange time and local time.
Okay, because I need to get I'm gonna go in and figure it out. I got to get the exchange time up there.
That's a useful tool.
The clock is great.
Yes. Clock tells you a lot. All right, I'm gonna look for a couple of dead cat setups. I think. Let's see what I can find here. Oh, there's an IPO. Getter's an IPO today. I think
Oh,
Yeah, right.
oh, I don't like IPOs. I stay away from them.
Oh, look at this though.
You're great at them. I gotta stay away from them. Get her done.
Wasn't it the True Social or whatever? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
not
it's a
know.
SPAC. Okay. I haven't played with stuff like that in a while. But look at that, dude. It opened it at 10.17. Damn. That's a hell of a drop. But we know what happens when they drop. They tend to bounce at least once.
Almost bounce.
And let's see. Where's their point of control? We're right under it right now on a 5-minute. Look for a quick stop hunt, and this could give us a quick setup.
All right, let's see now. You get back to the 20 on the SPY on the
Aha.
and back to that 39.70 area on the MES.
Well, that's that retracement line I drew on the chart there.
Oh yeah.
The white one here. You know what, let me change that to a different color so we can.
Yeah, it looks like it wants to fail that.
Kind of does.
Yeah, it looks like we're forming a little bit of an ugly evening star on the 5-minute.
All right. So
That's
one
a
thing is,
big
with
deal.
IPOs, I don't have to give a damn about what the company does or what they're even into. I just want the price action. And right now, we actually just pushed up on top of that 8 period after a very, very short-lived stop hunt back here. This can crawl out. And finding the levels, $3.65 and $4. Pretty easy to see right there on the chart. Draw some lines. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do 355. I like 55. Right in the middle. And let's go to $4. So if we trust this trend, it's got to break the point of control first. And that's this little dotted purple line on the volume profile, by the way. Very useful. I'd like to see it pull back with one candle touching the 8 period about $3.05 and it holds. But the 8 period has already crossed above the 20. Now it's just got to pull back one more time healthfully and then push up against resistance at 310. Let's see if we get a quick scalp out of that thing. Meanwhile, I'm going to scan around for a couple other dead cats. I love trading dead cats. That's what that CNET trade was yesterday, just a dead cat. I don't have to trust it ever beyond that. In history, though, dead cats that I've traded that have actually gone and followed through, I almost never trust them to follow through, but sometimes they do. And one to point out, actually, was pretty obvious. Where the heck did that thing go? NWTN. Have you seen that lately?
No, Where is it?
Trading at
No, I was just checking out PHVS. Where is it?
trading at 12.78 now. Do you remember
Holy cow!
Do you remember
when it was like $3 or $4?
Yep. The low was 205. I got long at 290, traded out at 350 and then 360, and then I rolled some of that position over after taking profit. I think I closed it at like 4 and some change. I'll have to look at the history. But yeah, that's one of the dead cats that followed through, and that's why I watch them, because oftentimes if they set those levels, I mean, look at SPY. That's a dead cat. Big old red bar, bounce.
Yeah.
It checked the fib level. It checked the 50% level. Now it checked the 73.6 or whatever the heck the number is, fib level. Breaks over in an evening star. I mean, any dead cat bounce on any chart, it's the same routine. They love doing that. But sometimes they'll follow through and they'll retrace 100% of the move. Sometimes they'll break out of that. Very rare when they do, but Newton is perfect, NWTN. That was a great trade.
Now you're finding those dead cat bounces how? You're just going scanning, looking through different things?
I look for the losers, the biggest losers of the day.
You do that through the Webull app.
Yep.
That's a great thing to do.
That's where
Biggest
I found
losers.
this GETR right here, and it's looking like it's going to do something.
Yeah, during the buy and hold stage, that was great to do. You go look for the biggest loser and just grab it.
Yep. That's it. BTFD.
Yeah.
That's what you're seeing. You're literally trading on their emotion to BTFD. Bottom line, you're basically you're taking advantage of the mob. You're the calm, cool, collective guy who sees a riot and doesn't participate because you know there's going to be better opportunities later when the riot's over. Don't look at it like a looter. I'm just saying. Look at it.
Thanks. Jeremy gives us the loot. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a looter strategy.
Yeah. Let the mob do their damage. You take advantage when the aftermath is finally allowing you to get in there and do your thing. You don't have to follow the mob. You just have to go and take advantage of what's left when the mob goes away.
Yeah, because if you follow the mob, you'd be like buying AMC at $50 a share. And right now, listening to somebody tell you it's going to continue to go up. Wait.
Yeah.
Diamond hands. Diamond hands.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's not going to do it? You're full of FUD.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I
All right.
said,
So
man, they just
30 seconds on this 5-minute candle after the big beer bar.
They just follow the jiggling butt cheeks in front of them. You know?
That was a hell of a picture yesterday. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
That was a great one. Sig will post it again if he's listening. All right, GETR, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I was looking at GROM in that list. That's gonna flop, I think. Yeah, no point over there. Too grindy. Well, not worth trading. AUTL is starting to roll. Let me pop that up on where COMS is here.
are you using your desktop app for the Weeble to pick that up, or are you using your phone? Just curious.
My phone.
It's so simple.
That's it.
That's where I used to find those penny stocks.
It's so
I'd
quick
have
and
my
easy.
scanner. I'd have my scanner, and then I'd look at the little spark chart on the pre-market gainers and penny stocks, and I was like, "Oh, how come this one's not on my scanner?"
Right.
Bam.
Is now. So I got levels at 225 and 235. Well, actually 215 and 235 here on AUTL. That's a therapeutic company. That might not do much.
Pump and dump. Okay, now
Biotech.
let's see.
You know how they work. They probably had an offering or something crazy.
Oh, they'll put out something
Yeah.
like we always joke about. Uncle Joe went down to the FDA office and got an application.
They're
Doc
gonna
moves.
They're going to soak. All right. GETR tapped the point of control with that little candle, that little wick right there. They're trying to trip the trailing stops out right now. Watch this. It's going to test that 310 level a couple times before we get loose.
Okay, I don't like trailing stops.
Not on something like this. This would be something that I would do, mental. Yesterday's thing on CNET was just the setup was methodical. I've fully trusted my ability to just put limit orders in there with a trailing stop, but something like this, it doesn't look right. There we go, AUTL popping up. But dead
That's
cats
all I
are
want.
freaking awesome, dude. Another one popping up right now, although this one I don't. Oh. Hey, look at BIVI. Dang it, I'm running out of chart space.
BIVI. BI. Oh, Bivy. I looked at that one yesterday.
There's a
That
nice
was,
dead
that was
cat.
moving yesterday.
There's your bearish measure
Yeah.
move. This looks a lot like the one I traded yesterday there, the CNET. 750 is the target for that one. Quick little 45, 50 cent gap. No problem. It's a bearish
750.
measured
You
move.
got your target for that one. I see where you got it.
Yep, right there. Measured move, consolidation.
Mhm.
And it's just a
All
matter
right.
of watching them 1 minute candles and find the bottom, find the support break or the resistance break, about 680. I missed the entry on this. I could probably get it for about 690 here if it taps that 8 period one more time, but it might be too late.
A little pullback right now. About 50% of that candle at 698.
I love me some dead cats, dude. They're so fun.
It's in a little gap spot. There's a little gap spot to the left between 696 and 692. You see the Tootsie Roll candle
Yep.
to the left. Oh, there it goes. See? Too late. The bands are opening. Not the Bollinger Bands. I'm looking at my stuff. Now, VWAP's above it.
See ya.
At 760.
Rolling,
So
baby.
713. Yeah, it could just walk all those candles back up.
Hey, dead cats are cool.
Inside, out. Let's see.
So
Yeah,
is-
this guy was moving. I think yesterday in the pre-market.
Yeah, yesterday it had some action too. I saw that. That was it peaked at like 7. Well, it wicked up to like 7 something. Oh, hang on a second. No, that was a daily chart. Doy. Let me get the 2-hour chart out. I'm looking on my phone because I don't want to disrupt what I have on the screen here.
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
Dun, dun, dun. Gotta separate the time. There we go.
You see, it's only 180 days.
Yesterday, 968 was the peak on that with a wick. Now it's pulled back right to the 20 period on the 2-hour chart. And that hit exactly a 50% of the opening range candle for the day breakout. Okay, that's what that is. That's a classic. All right, let's show the 2-hour chart real quick just while we have a
Look at the
second.
candle on the 1300 on the 2nd of December. That's a great day, by the way, the 2nd of December. The 1300 2-hour candle, the bottom of that is where it's sitting right now, which is the in-between of those two red
right.
candles. See, that's how I talk about those in-between spots. If you're price action, you got two big bars like that, and they lap. That lap
Right.
usually becomes a very, it's a point of interest. And price is going to either hold there or blow through.
Yep.
So, and you see that on the way up as well. Green candles.
Yeah, if we wanted to, we could go sit with this 1 minute chart and put a line across every control zone of every candle in this trend. And somehow the candles will almost match on this side of it if it rolls back up that whole trend.
So this thing's had a nice little sell-off so far. If it retraces it, let's see from the morning right there, your 50% would be 787. About-ish. Another thing on price action, when you start seeing wicks, notice where they are. If price is descending, it's falling down, and you start seeing some wicks, big wicks on those red candles, that's an indication that weakness is coming. Same thing going up. Look for those wicks.
Oof. All right. I still got a pretty strong target on that. I think I want to set another pivot point at 725.
Dude, it's trying to form a morning star on a 15-minute chart. That's a good find going back to that BVI.
Yeah.
Man, you're the man.
I love looking for losers because I love watching them bounce like this. And it's just, for me, it's an easy target. It's an easy trade.
Going back to the MES and SPY on the 5-minute chart particularly, the moving average there, the red candles didn't break the single moving average that I have.
Right.
And then the green candles are, this last green candle went above it. So that's again on the 5-minute chart.
Yeah, it might take off. We got a Busby here, so essentially it's owed push to about 397.22 to 25. That's going to be real quick for a quick scalp on the ES. What would that be right now? It'd be about a 3-pointer. Yeah.
You're looking on your 1-minute chart, you got a lot of those wicks, a lot of selling pressure happening on BVI, VIVI.
Yeah, there's a couple wicks poking out of the upper band there.
I'd look for it to walk back down to the 8.
There it is, inverted hammer. We might get a quick trailing stop dust off to $7.
Which is about the 8. Close to it. It's a little below it.
Let's see, the 8 is currently at 703. All right.
All of a sudden, the volume slowed down on it.
There's your point of control for SPY here, and we can expect a push just above that 397 if it's going to continue here. If not, this will be a quick little Busby within the trend, right back to the 8 period for test, about 396.70.
On the 5-minute, you got about 10 seconds.
I think BIVI is going to continue grinding here.
Nice.
I just love how simple the price action is on a dead cat, especially when you find one with a built-in measured move like that. They're almost methodical, dude.
A little high for strength indicators. All right.
See.
Doesn't mean these penny stocks are going to do what they're going to do. So sometimes they don't always follow logic.
Nope, not always.
They do, they can, but I mean that's a pretty. Jeremy, is that a triple bottom on the 1-minute?
Yeah, you can almost see it that way.
Almost see it that way, yeah. But that area, that 687 to 680, I have it marked out as a demand zone.
Throw your HA candles at it, it's a double bottom. Measure R1 break, running up the targets to the left. Pure and simple.
I marked that level out a few days ago. Let me go see if I can find out where it was. Do that right there.
Point of control bounce to pivot, big solid green bar. Textbook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that zone that I just told you was, if you go look back at the 2nd, again, a beautiful day, December 2nd. If you go back and look at that, that's obviously was my birthday, y'all. If you go look at that.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
GTRs. Yeah.
That
GTR's about done.
Yeah, that was the spot, BIVI on December 2nd. About, let's see, what time? 3:10 p.m. You'll see that's where it fell. It wicked in that area a couple times, and then it just sold off. Well, it's come back to that area now, and it's bounced off of it. So that's I didn't even notice that till you said it. I was like, oh, look at that.
I'm going to look
something
at
there.
MRIN in a second. I just want to put a couple other levels here on this
MRIN.
AUTL. Yeah, it's a software company.
We get that one all the time sometimes. I got levels on it probably.
Well, I've traded the crap out of this one before. I'm kind of looking at it. I was looking at it for a little while as a wheel trade target, but doesn't have the weeklies that I'd like to see. Tweezer top. Maybe.
Saw that? That's what I was just thinking. It looked like it might be a bearish engulfing there. Let's see. You got 10 seconds.
720. Hang on a second.
Boom. Tweezer top.
Look again, 15-second Busby, right to the 20. If it doesn't hold the control line at 710 here, it'll break. But if it goes in for a bounce, it'll go right back to the top of the Busby. Bam, just like that. This is that
Still.
candle for candle stuff we talk about making a collaborative video on. This is right here. Perfect
Yep.
Busby. Oh, slightly less than perfect Busby, but the targets are the same.
It is low volume though.
Yeah, it's fairly low volume for what it is.
It's a
but
grinder. It's a grinder, but it's, the last candle had 8,000 something. The one before that had 16,000 something. So far we're at 800 on this one. 800.
watch how much smoother. Look at this ticky tack on a 5-second chart. Regular candles.
Uh-huh. You're going to do
Bong.
Kanashi.
Look at that.
Yeah, it does give you, it's a great thing. Now that is an indicator because it smooths it out, right? It's an
Right.
average.
It smooths the average out between from one candle to the next.
It didn't get past that 718 area.
It might pull back to 710 one more time here. Nope. It says to
Nope.
hell with you.
Oh, the penny stock going to do what they're going to do.
I don't care what you think. I'm rolling.
Where's your fast stochastic, dang it?
Oh, I took it off.
Oh,
I'll put it on.
I want to, yeah, put it on. You see it's in that high area?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tricky.
We'll compare it on a 5-minute chart, though.
Ah, yes, on a 5-minute chart. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, there it is.
So
Uh-huh.
we can remain pegged on a 1-minute chart and the shorter term charts for a while with FSTO. The divergence starts to get noticed on the larger time frames because I'm using a fast stochastic.
Stochastic.
On a shorter times, it'll be a little bit squirrely, but you can still see where the potential breakover is right here. So it's still got a chance to sit there and retrace 710 real quick, but I need to
I can
shrink
see,
all these down.
like, sometimes on my CCI, what I call my lower CCI, I can see it on the Woodies too. You'll get an M top, and price will be doing something that doesn't look like an M top, but you'll get an M top on those lower indicators, those lines,
Right.
and it'll be an M top, bro. It'll come back down. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I've been studying on those things too, because I'm going to be, like I said, putting all this stuff together. Yep, settle it in, and I'm loving it. And I was late today, but I wasn't late. I was in here. I had already traded. It's just that the coffee machine took too long, and this, that, and the other.
ALTO or AUTL. I can't talk. Rejected the 200 period.
That there. Big wick.
I don't like those therapeutic companies anyway, but boom,
Big wick.
nailed the 725, man.
Yes, it did. Big wick.
Ain't it cool?
Yeah, penny stocks, you'll get those crazy ass big wicks, and then the dang thing will still take off.
Yep. Little divergence here on the 1 minute, 3 minutes, kind of going convergence. Sorry, not divergence, convergence.
Look,
But it's
I'm
still
gonna-
it's still got room to chop. I think
Yeah,
it's
I'm
still
gonna put this picture. I know we're in options in the big room right here. It's not penny stocks, but I'm gonna put this in there. And Victoria, if you're listening, I hope you are. This is a classic look that I look for on a penny stock, and it's when I have a zone already drawn out from like 3 days ago. But this is, when I say classic, this is the bounce that I look for a lot of times when I'm doing a penny stock. Let me get it in that chat room.
Which one are you on now?
We're looking
Myron,
at,
yeah?
we're looking at BVI just for fun.
PVI, right, okay.
Oh, I gotta get.
This is this look right there.
I gotta get ready
I
to
just
go.
noticed that Sig was putting out all kind of stuff. So I put that in there just so you could see, because it is more of a double bottom than it's a funny look, but it's when that stock comes up and it's moved in the pre-market some, but then at the open it kind of sells off, and it just does this sell off, and then it hits a spot.
Right.
And that spot I drew out 3 days ago. And that was that I was talking about, and it hit that area, that zone, that demand zone, and buyers came in. They market makers built some positions there, and it started moving up. Now they'll probably sell it again at some point, possibly at VWAP at 758, or it'll continue to go. But
Right.
that's a look that it takes time to set up, and to even get to the point to where the candle started popping. That is 11:14 market time. So that's almost 2 hours after the market opened. That's why patience is so important, that you just sit there and you let the pattern form. And as Jeremy has taught us 1,000 times, let the market come to you.
Yes. That's it.
Don't chase it. Let it come to you. Now, this look can fail. This very look can fail, and it will. But this is something I always looked for. And this is one of those things where like Jeremy or Scott would come in the morning in the pre-market, and they'd mark out all these levels where price could go, and then it wouldn't go there. It would just sell off. But then
Right.
toward the mid part of the day, and by the end of the day, it would hit all those levels. So, but you get a lot of people in the penny stock, especially right now, and since it's not as, the pandemic's over, but you're getting people that get in there in the early part of the morning throughout the states that are, making their things happen, and then they leave, and then the market does what it's supposed to do, or what it's going to do, and you get these bounces. And so I didn't realize that's what the did can't bounce was, but that's classic. I look for that. It can fail, or there definitely are ways for it to fail, but usually when I would see it hit those levels, I would
Right.
get in, and then I'd put my stop. Now I would have got stopped out on this one at one point, but I would have put my stop right below the box that I have drawn, like at 679.
I was
And
going
then-
to point out a simple one is where did I get that 725 target? I had
Yeah.
it. I flipped it open on my phone. I didn't put it up here, but that control candle right there, from yesterday's price action, that was the 725 pivot.
Wow. Anyway, I hope that helps.
What is the difference between a pivot and a price level?
So they're kind of one and the same, really. I like to go with pivots that are like incremental. Like with SPY, we become accustomed to, pivots can be any 25-cent level anywhere in the chart. Penny stocks, you go to the whole penny. Sometimes you'll go to a nickel or whatever you can find. But points of control are a little different. Points of control are going to be based on the price action itself. You're going to look for your control candles when you can find them, and you're going to find all the levels you need to know for day trading in those candles, because you're literally trading points of interest on previous price action that you see in history. So you basically know that usually when those bigger candles are formed, it takes a lot of trading volume to make those candles happen. So you got a lot of interest in the height of that candle. You got a lot of people who chased the price in that single candle, whether it's up or down. And when you get that full body, you literally mark points from top and bottom of those candles, and you'll know where the interest is going to be. So like if someone was going long on a green candle, you've got everybody from the bottom to the top of that candle in interest. So their stop loss is typically going to be the size of that whole candle, or the support or resistance level of that candle. So like if price is coming down in a trend, these people who got long on the top of that candle are going to start to close their positions for a break even right when price hits the top of that candle. And then usually you'll get a following reciprocate of that candle in a red candle, top to bottom. It'll match. Same thing when you have a trend from a previous bear trend, you've got short sellers involved too. And you got these big red candles. Whenever you see a body of a red candle, you know that they don't want to take a loss. They'd rather take a break even. So when it comes to the support level of that red candle coming back up in a bullish trend, the short sellers are going to close the door. So it's kind of cool when you see these candles. You just literally draw a line across, and it sets you up for where your price targets are. It's points of interest. You're going to know that there's going to be people watching that chart. If they're in a trade, they made those big candles. They're going to take it seriously when it comes to price revisiting levels within that candle. So it's really just a matter of finding out where the money is.
A lot of times you can see those pivots On the big candles, they'll be like, if you look at a 2-hour chart,
Right.
you'll see those big large candles, and their tops and their bottoms can be pivots.
Right, I'm with you. Okay. I'm in
Alright.
BXRX at the moment. It's kind of trending upwards, so I'm wondering, have I managed to sort of identify the point where it was in a downward trend? I got in just as it broke out of that trend, and now it's trending upwards. But I'm wondering,
What was the ticker again?
BXRX, Bravo X-ray, Romeo X-ray.
Okay. That's our
So-
classic retrace.
What does that mean? It's going up 50%. Yeah. What does retracement mean?
Well, you look at yesterday's trend into the after hours. And
Yeah.
a nice long trend here. Look at about the halfway mark of that whole height from bottom to top there. It visited
Yeah.
right to 50% of that trend.
So where it is 489 or wherever it is now, that's a 50% retracement of the previous trend. Then is that correct?
485 was the retracement.
All right,
low.
485. Yeah.
And then
Sorry, I'm looking at your chart. I'm not specific, but yeah, I see your point. Yeah. So
And then
it's going up now.
look at today's trend. You've got basically it hit a peak 729 here. This is a descending trend. All right. Where's the 50% level? Right about the top of this opening range bar. So if price is going to stay in a trend here, that's your first target. That's where people are going to take profit. So right about 595. And currently it is
Yeah.
trending off the bottom. It did break out of that angular resistance. And you always draw these on those channels. And this is why.
That's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
You know, you throw a line down. At some point when it breaks out like this, that's consolidated and broken out. First, it'll make a measured move from a regression line out from the break. So if you find the regression line, that's about the middle of that channel. We've repeated this range from here to here, out to here. The range didn't go up or down. It's just the length of time or space it took from regression line to angular. This is where you're going to see some price action. So if it's going to pull back one last time before it continues to trend, this is where it will do it. And it just flashed that candle right there, that 5-minute candle, touched the 8 period and bounced. Look at that on a 1-minute chart, and it becomes a little more apparent. It's just a big wick. So you've got your measured move already outside of this, and there is the 200 period to boot right there. That's a resistance point. If we continue to trend here, it's got to break above that 200 period and continue on to that 50% mark. And let me go draw that again.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my head around what you're saying here. This is brilliant. Can keep going, Jeremy. I'm paying
No
full
problem.
attention. All right.
I'm thinking as I do. There we go. And $6 is right on par with where that is. I would say most people would take profit probably about $5.99, to be honest with you. So if this is going to continue to trend, the 50% target of this is right here at that $6 level, $5.99. You also got to consider that it doesn't always go the full 50% move. Oftentimes it'll stop somewhere halfway. And since we touched 481, we'll round that to 5. What's the reciprocate? Roughly 550. We might even call it 555. But look, there's a 1-minute or a 5-minute candle that's a point of control right here. And then every time you spot a point of control, think of it as a price target. And how
I do. Yeah.
you see where I always have my price targets number, like price target 1, price target 2, extension, whatever. They're all just points of control. So you're just trading from one to the other. So if you got long on this break here, kudos, you killed it. You're already in a great trend. You can sit here with a manual stop order to where you can just hit the market button to get out of that trade and take your profit. Because of the range of these candles, this would be very difficult to trade a trailing stop here. You'd have to do it mentally, and you're basically just going to watch that 8 period.
Yeah, when you say do it mentally, you mean do it manually. So
Right.
I haven't got a trailing stop. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, because the wicks keep wicking down,
Right.
and there's no point putting a trailing stop on because it's going to get hit.
Not at
So
all.
I'm just sitting here waiting with my finger ready to go if in case anything.
That's it. And then all you have to know is, where you're comfortable taking profit, and
So
if you're comfortable
I'm
sitting with
looking at
this.
that. Sorry, Jeremy. That 50% retracement is about round about 95 or $6 then, yeah?
Right.
Okay, I'm going to try and take it just before then, because I'm only just starting to learn about the 50% retracements now.
Gotcha. And it's a guesstimation too, and another thing to know about that 50% retracement rule is that, like yesterday when I traded CNET, I had a limit order sitting at the bottom edge of that 50% retracement, but the 50% retracement is a range in itself, and I'm going to knock that out for you real quick too. So we take our descending trend, we draw our lines on it, and it's just basically a regression channel. One thing to know is there's a range here. You can see where it accumulated in a range before it broke over bearish, right? So
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
is some substructure. So if it gets some extensions in there, those control candles within that range are going to be valid as secondary targets. So if it continues to run through that $6 level, it's got extensions, and probably right up to 620. And then we'll break it down to the 1 minute chart again.
I
See
don't
if
want to be
there's-
greedy though, so I'm going to
Right.
take it round about the 595 mark, which it's actually coming up to now on the 1 minute chart.
Right, and this is where greed is going to happen. So you can sit there and trade it on momentum, or you can leave a couple parts of that trade on. If you wanted to sit there and manually take a market order on it real quick, like, you could get an extra penny or two out of it. It's just knowing where those levels are is going to behoove you, because if you've got quite a range here in that consolidation. If it gets to 695, you could say, okay, well, I can take like 75% of my position off and leave a couple hanging on, so take a little bit more out of this if greed pushes it higher. And you don't always have to stop at a 50% level. You just know that a lot of people are going to start taking profit there. And then oftentimes when you get these regression channels after a bullish trend, they'll do one of two things. Either they set up accumulation in that area and then break over as a bearish measured move, or sometimes if let me see if I can find an example here. This is a little bit short, but like you have this descending trend here, made a retracement to about the top 73% in the pre-market here, trended down, came back up. That was establishing a previous pivot. So like right at that $4 mark, once it broke that, after another accumulation, it finally trended out. So when you have these regression channels, always know that they have the potential to continue for 100% retracement. They'll usually break over at exactly 100% or just under it, and then retest a 50% retracement and then continue to trend. So you can get multiple trades out of a chart like this in the future. So if you're looking at this as a quick day trade, yeah, you kill it. You make a really nice percentage return just running to the 50% line and the lower range of the 50% line. But you can maintain some of that position in this range, and if this thing gets to where greed pushes it beyond this pivot here, this 620 area, it's got potential to go and retrace every candle in that previous trend. So like whenever you see me trading a double bottom, I do this all the time. I'll mark out all the levels and all the extensions so that I know if it breaks one, it can make its way to the other.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye now on this 595 area, and and I'm going to be quick off the mark if it goes down or up from there.
Exactly. And it's just
Are
like
you still recording this on YouTube?
this part. Yeah, we're still on YouTube.
Good.
So essentially, when we get into these, we've taken a nice clean reversal, a nice regression channel break. We're aiming for that 50% for a quick day trade. If it trends, cool, we can continue to ride it. We've got all the levels marked out. We went and looked left on our price action, found all the important points of interest. And if you're really rapid, you can know where those are. And for some reason, Webull does not transfer this to a 5-second chart. You can sit there and scalp to each of those stinking levels as they come on a 5-second chart. That's because it doesn't have a 10-second chart. And that's what I would do with futures. I would go and find all these levels, mark them all out. In fact, I'm going to take BIVI off because it's done. BXRX. But if you know where all those 1-minute levels are, you can know the exact moment to take profit looking at a 5-second chart. So if you want to talk about taking profit, boom, you would have hit your market button right in that 1-minute candle. And you would have definitely confirmed that ahead of time right here on that 8-period break on a 5-second chart. Before I could spit it all out, it's happening on a 5-second chart. But note, there's point of interest here. There's 8-period. And we're going to continue up after a pullback, it looks like. But knowing where all those levels are is going to really help you with being able to scalp a very short time frame chart. And when you set them all up on your longer time frames, you can sit here and look at this and be like, okay, I can scalp this on a 5-second chart. I can hit that market button and get out of this trade right quick when it rejected here. But I'm going to look at my 1-minute chart and decide, is this just a pullback, or is this going to test the 8-period and continue trending on?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at it I'm looking at it on the 10-second and the other one as well, just to sort of see what's going on in different timescales. But here it goes now. It's testing the 985 and it's going to test the 995 now.
Oh, yeah, 590.
So I'm getting ready.
I just saw that wick on the 5-second chart nail that 590. Pretty sweet.
Oh, I love this. I'm all excited.
Good.
595.
Don't count BIVI out yet.
Going through
Not yet.
995 now, so it's just touched and broken through 995. But I'm gonna see if it shows any weakness. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Just watch the trend. So it just pushed to 595 with a wick, and you can watch that 5-second chart to confirm, is it going to pull back here and test the 8-period one more time, or is it just going to keep on walking?
It's testing the 8-period on the 5-second chart.
There's a break, but watch the 20-period here, and then watch your 8-period on a 1-minute chart. So if you see a trend form on that 5-second chart, like if you, gosh, I might even have to switch that to HA candles to really see the trend break.
I'm out.
There's your trend reversal.
I don't care. I didn't want to be greedy.
Oh, totally fine. You went right to 595. You did good. So
yeah,
here,
I made 45 cents profit on that.
Not bad. And
so, like you say, don't be greedy, isn't it? Because look at it now.
Right.
It's jumping all over the place. It probably is going to go back up, but don't be greedy.
Exactly. You don't have to be. Or like I said, if you had some size in this position, you can take a big chunk of it off, bank that profit, and leave some on just to
yeah.
Walk the
if you
rest
had
of the
like 30 contracts on or something, then you can sell 10, sell 5. But I've only got 1, and that could blow my account up if I'm not careful. So
Gotcha.
I'm glad I get out of that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to stop looking at it now.
Risk management is definitely going to completely govern what you do with that. But I'm just saying, you've got options depending on account size or how much position you have on too. I mean, that was a quick little clean short-term trend reversal. But again, I watched that 1-minute chart, and that was just a wick to the 8-period. But there is some weakness here.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was showing weakness on 2 different charts for me. So I thought, well, that's enough. And again, I'm just happy that I got in and out, and it was disciplined. It did what I was supposed to, and all right, I didn't have a stop loss on that. It was all manual, but yeah, 45 cents. But more to the point, it was disciplined. So I'm just happy for that.
That's great.
That's the best part of it. You got your discipline, and you stuck to it. All right, so now we're just threatening that 8-period on a 1-minute chart. This can drop a quick red candle right to about 575, and it's just a tick below that control point right here ticker too. 577's point of control now, but oftentimes these guys will pop it right below that just to take out some more stops in this trend. There it goes. And when you look at the HA candles on the 5-second chart, you can see that was a quick turn. It was under the 8 period, right in that bar, after the 8 period crossed below the 20 periods. This confirms that this is likely to trend a little bit here for a pullback. And then if you look a little bit further out on your chart, on your 5-second chart, don't hesitate to draw on that thing. That is a wedge. So there's point of control right here. And you can see there's a wedge right there. Bam. Third knock on that wedge. Watch for a consolidation candle. And then a push through the point of control. And this is like purely screen time talking here. I mean, I've been in this chair for a while watching these. And you just get to know them intimately. Even though it broke the 8 period on the 1 minute chart here, and it wicked just below that point of control, it still bounced out for one last grab. Where did it stop? Right at that point of control. This is some excellent price action we've had on some penny stocks to make some really, really good teaching moments. I love this.
Always say, what do we always say? There's always something to trade.
That's it. Even if SPY's flat, not giving it to you, there's plenty of pennies out there to scalp. There's plenty of MES contracts to go around. There's anything you want. There's a product for it. You just got to be able to know where to look for them, and then go and get your price action down to the point where you can just scalp the living tar out of anything that moves. All right.
Lots of wicks there on the 5 minute on SPY. All right. You can head out?
Yeah, I got to get ready to go see Cree, but I also got to hit the head real quick and let some coffee out.
Yeah. I'm going to get out for a little while too, guys. I will probably be back for the Power Hour, and I hope you can too, Jeremy.
I think so. It's a Friday. It's likely to be flat today at the Power Hour, but
Still on
we've seen some crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm going to sign off.
Man, YouTube, y'all got a whole bunch of good stuff today.
Yeah. Come back and watch this video later. Tell your friends about this video because there is a lot
They
in
won't
this
be
one.
able to see. They won't be able to see this video.
Oh, it'll be up on the channel.
But I thought it was only for members. Replays.
Well, when we finally get around to doing replays, we're gonna actually record those and have the master videos and then put them up in the private channel, commercial free. But we throw them on a YouTube channel and monetize them because
I see.
it helps
Excellent.
it helps keep our membership price down.
Yeah, and it keeps our lights on. Yeah,
That's
'cause
right.
This stuff is.
But if you
Yes. All right. Perfect. I got to go too.
But if you're here with us and you like what you got in this video, dude, tell your friends. This is a great one to reference. Just give them a link to this video. They're going to love it. And if they like it, dude, hit that like and subscribe and that bell because we do this stuff all the time. And this was a great knowledge drop for everybody.
All right. I'm out of here. I got somebody getting ready to knock on my door.
There you
Talk to
go.
y'all a little bit later.
See y'all later.